The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the morning crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
All right, let's go. Let's do this. It's 6:03. It is 53 degrees. I don't know if it is 70s again today.
Woo!
Nice little day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go.
Take your top off.
Well, listen.
Brian.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't like the way I look right now. I'm trying to do the summer of tank top and Oakleys. I'm going to get there.
Okay.
But we've
what year are you going to get there?
Well, when is officially top off season start, you think?
My first weight loss goal, because I have a couple with having a baby, it just takes a little longer.
Sure.
My first weight loss checkpoint is Memorial Day weekend, because it's the first time I'll be in a swimsuit.
Before it or after it? Like, so you want
During it.
You want to look?
I'm going to be in a swimsuit during it.
Thanks, Case. Well, I guess my thought.
Before, after it.
Well-
I said my weight loss goal is Memorial Day weekend. After it?
Because I
I just said.
Because I associate Memorial Day weekend with grilling out, eating potato salad,
But
drinking.
you want to look good during it.
So it's gonna all be a wash after that weekend of drinking and eating, though, right?
No, I'm probably still going to be working towards my next set of goals, but my first checkpoint, if you will, in the race.
Your cheat weekend will be that weekend.
No,
now.
I'm not going to cheat. I just want to lose a certain amount of weight by then.
You have to
You don't have
cheat.
to cheat the whole time you're on a diet.
You have to cheat the
I
whole.
like how the first question is, what are you cheating on
No,
your diet?
Memorial Day
I
weekend
won't
has to be a cheat. You cannot eat salads and whatever.
Why?
Because it's fun. You want to grill out
Because it's
brats.
fun. You know what's fun? Not crying when I put on a swimsuit.
All right.
That's fun.
Well, that sounds not very fun.
Yes, I'd prefer to just try to lose the weight.
But I want you to eat brats, burgers, potato salad, dessert.
Potato salad. Jeez, calm down.
I can eat the whole bowl when it comes out there at a barbecue of potato
So
salad.
when are you going to get in shape?
After Memorial Day weekend,
So
clearly.
you're starting. So you can't do anything in the next 2 weeks.
No, it's all wash otherwise. Why start now?
You've been saying this for months. Why start now?
Because really, it will start after Memorial Day weekend.
Will it?
It will. I'm going to ease
No,
in.
because then it's a wash because it's almost 4th of July.
Well, yeah, you got to go hard during 4th of July.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
And then it's almost winter after that. So why
Yeah.
would you start then? There's no point in
Bulk up for
summer
winter,
body.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll have Juneteenth. I have a barbecue there. Let's see. What other days we get off? Yikes.
It's Juneteenth, the 4th of July.
And then August is insane with the amount of concerts.
Oh, you can't eat healthy at a concert.
No, we'll have Metallica.
Well, that's just impossible.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. January 1st,
Oh my God.
2025.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for a fact that makes your brain go. Now, when I get in here at 4 in the morning, I oftentimes put something on Facebook saying like, hey, you up, check in. What are you doing right now? And a lot of our listeners who are there all night, keeping this city flowing wherever you live, whether it's the Schaumburg or Chicago Heights or Naperville or right in the city. These are the overnight people that get everything ready for us to have a day. And some of these people, though, are home and they're awake. They always say, like, I can't sleep. Insomnia kicks in. I'm brutal. Do you have those problems at all? I mean, now with a baby, you don't because you're exhausted all the time.
I used to be like, I can't sleep. Now I'm like, for the love of God, let me sleep.
Yeah. Case, do you have any I don't know if you have this issue. I've never talked about it with you. Do you have insomnia problems ever?
No, I don't get that. Just go to bed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just go to bed.
Oh, well, thank you for solving the world's problems. That's like when my husband, I have huge anxiety issues, and he goes, hey, relax.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, come
Thanks.
on.
awesome. No, I
Everything's
feel much
fine.
better now. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why don't you just close your eyes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, I do feel I don't really have problems. There's once in a while my brain goes and I can't make it stop and I'll be up all night just for some about like I'm gonna die
Call me
someday.
Lionel Richie. All night long.
I wish there was
all
that.
night.
No, I just think about like death or something, or
Death is the one thing that will keep me up.
I'll just start thinking like
I think about everything. I will stay up thinking about
Your grocery list?
I swear to God, I've premeditated an argument that I think may happen in 3 weeks with my husband because of a specific day. And I've thought of that like 18 ways I can approach it. And I'm like, I should just stop doing this and just like wait for it to happen.
Yeah.
But I can't. I've had the conversation in my head 8 times.
Problem is you're going to forget that line you had to win the argument by the time you get there.
I won't forget. And he's going to breach the subject, and I'm going to come with like an AK of thoughts. I'm like, I'm so ready. And then I just approach it too aggressively.
All he said was, should I take the garbage out?
Like, I knew you were going to say this today.
You're cheating. I know it because this, and this.
It's not good.
Yeah. It's something that keeps, I really feel bad for these people that can't sleep because there are a lot of our listeners out there. So coming up in this fact, a guaranteed way to fall asleep within 2 minutes every night, and you don't have to take medication. It's not a pill. No, I'm not going to say like work out before you go to bed. It's nothing doing anything physical. It's amazing, and you will fall asleep in 2 minutes. No matter how long your insomnia is, we'll have that for you in 6 minutes.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Well, it's time for a fact that makes your brain go. And this one's going to help a lot of our crew members out there. A lot of people checking in that have insomnia now and then, or some people have it every night. You have to take a pill. You have to do certain things like work out before you go to bed just to get yourself tired, and that doesn't always work. Stop your brain from working. This guarantees you will fall asleep within 2 minutes. It's something that somebody discovered on the internet in just the last week. Now, I have to intro it. I was going to just play some of it. It's a video you watch, and you will fall asleep in 120 seconds guaranteed. The video is called and labeled The Most Boring Video Ever Made. And it is a 1989 Microsoft Word tutorial. Now, the guy that did this just found this out that people were using this to go to sleep. His name is Randy Smith, and he's a retiree now at this point because this was like, 35 years ago?
Yeah.
1989? First off, it blows my mind that Microsoft Word existed 35 years ago.
Right?
Yeah. And it was for like the Macintosh, if you're maybe an older brother or a parent that had that cube Mac computer.
Is that the one that went when you logged in?
Well, that's how you got on the internet back then because it was the dial-up that.
Why weren't they like, we should pick a different sound?
I think it needed to do that sound to make it connect.
I don't think so.
We could, well.
There's a lot of sounds that exist.
Kenzie, what was the sound again?
Oh, good, I'm online.
So
Can you imagine
if there's an
as
IT.
like a teenage boy wanting to look up porn? It's like, oh no, they're going to know.
Well, that was me.
Hey, can you imagine? Brian lived it.
Well, it not only did that, if you remember, it went ding, 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 and then it went, welcome. Well, because that was AOL. Well, the AOL welcome was welcome, and then now try to find some porn.
The guy was waking up.
So if there's an IT person out there that can do a side subject here of checking in on why that sound had to exist, we'd love to hear about it at 312-591-8300. But this is a piece of the video that's helping people sleep better than they have, some people, their whole life. Now, let's just play this about 15, 20 seconds without interrupting it. I don't want to make people fall asleep on the Kennedy right now and crash.
It's dangerous. It's like the flying machine audio we played last week where they made Siri call 911.
I hope that doesn't make people sleep, but he's at the point. This video, by the way, is an hour and 47 minutes.
Oh, my
Good
God.
heavens. What is he building the computer?
What other instructions do you need? Here's the page, type the letters.
Well, he's giving an example at this point, what I found in the video, of like how to write a lease on Microsoft Word.
Oh.
But listen to the examples here he gives as I play it here.
Do a lease for a piece of property. Now let's just pretend right now that we've got the people standing there in front of us and we're over on our Macintosh and we're going to type out the rules to living in our property. So we sit down and we say the following are the rules for living in my house. Number 1, I want you to keep your crummy dog off of my brand new carpet. If you don't, I will shoot both you and your dumb dog.
Okay, do you think there's a Netflix docuseries on this guy now? He sounds like a psychopath. That cannot be real.
It's totally real.
Why is that his example? You think it would be like, put your dishes away?
I have no idea why he chose that for his path in that
was
sentence.
personal. Like, he has an issue right now, and you know it.
Well, it's crazy because I thought when it started, he was going to say keep the crummy dog off the couch. I understand that everyone wants pets on the furniture. Keep the crummy dog off the carpet. That creates a whole new set of problems.
This is like the floor is lava. This is a tough thing to do.
If you don't, I will shoot both you and your dumb dog.
Just a quick example of how to use the computer.
Now, if you didn't like that sentence, you can hit backspace and it will erase the shooting part.
Can you play 2 seconds of him talking really fast?
Yeah, here's a little bit more. He's
Give me
continuing.
just a second of him talking.
What you wanted is you wanted the 1 and the 2 to line up nice and even, and then you wanted all your words to line up nice and straight.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Does he sound like a president?
Let me hear it again.
I feel like he
said that.
sounds like a president.
Let me just mention something to you here for a moment. A lot of you, when you start...
I will not raise taxes.
That's what I mean. I feel like immediately like he's in power and I'm bored.
He's a classic 80s looking, good looking man.
Is he good looking?
Yeah, it's like he's got a shirt and a tie on, and maybe Case can post this video on Facebook so people
I'm
can
sure
see it.
He should be like, if you bring your wife to my house, I will sleep with her.
Microsoft Word went in and tried to make this happen. And how did you make it happen?
Okay, it's an hour and 47 minutes, and people are falling
We're going to
asleep.
play the whole thing at 8.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
We'll start Lauren's show at 10 with the whole video.
Hey, it's commercial-free hour. We're playing it all the way through.
It's so it's called again the most boring video ever made, the 1989 Microsoft Word tutorial, and people are using it to fall asleep, and it's working.
Has he responded?
So he was just shocked to find out he was trending. I think he found out somehow because he's like I guess he's probably in his 70s now, and somehow he found out about it. He was shocked that people are using this to fall asleep.
Do you think he's shot any dogs in his life? Or people?
I don't think that statement just comes to you naturally.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Something's going on. He
Yeah.
sounds like a really disturbed person.
He could have said, don't put up your Christmas lights by November. Have to wait till after Thanksgiving. As at least he was giving an example of not, I'm going to shoot you and your dog, your crummy dog.
I'm going to murder your entire family in their sleep.
I have to issue a correction real quick on something Brian said. Brian said he's a good-looking guy. I'm looking at the screenshot of him right now. This looks like a man on the edge of a total collapse. He looks like he's an alcoholic. He looks haggard. This looks like a guy struggling to make through the 80s. It makes sense that he would shoot a dog.
Okay, Case, you have to realize, and you and I can relate to this. Brian says certain people are attractive because I think he thinks that it'll make him even more attractive. Like, if this guy is attractive, Brian is Pamela Anderson. You know what I mean? And, like, he loves that. He loves to do that.
Casey isn't wrong in his assessment, but that's what 80s dads looked like. I mean, that's
Well,
what
they did look so... Everybody in the 80s looked so old.
they all wore shirt and a tie.
I know.
Every day. And he has feathered hair, blonde feathered hair to the side, combed on the side, and...
Well, what happened to society? When did people stop wearing ties everywhere? Was that Kurt Cobain's fault? Is that grunge?
Yeah, his guitar, the dan and that.
Yeah.
Not only killed hair
everybody got rid
metal,
of their ties?
it killed hair metal, but it also killed ties. Well, listen, Case will post this video so you can watch it for yourself and see if it'll make you fall asleep. But if you're having trouble, this is the video.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, we just told you, and Case is posting that video, the most boring video on earth, so you can fall asleep in 120 seconds. That was our fact that made your brain go. Now, a side conversation to that, because the video was from 1989 on how to use Microsoft Word, is the question that Kenzie brought up about the old internet sound. It was this when you had to sign up back in the day, if you're old enough to remember. Like that little... Remember this?
Oh, vividly.
And then no one could use the phone either, by the way.
Well, it sucked because we had one computer in the house and I heard that noise. I was like, great, guess I'm not going to be using it anytime soon. When I was in the other room.
Get off the porn. We got to call the church to see what time the service starts
No
tonight.
kidding. 2 older brothers. I'm like, wipe it down.
So apparently that was the modems, quote, singing to each other. So that sound had to exist to use dial-up internet back in the day. So it wasn't just a fake sound they used to just say, hey, you're on the internet now. You know what I mean? So it had to be used.
It had to sound like that.
It had to sound like that. And then I got to remember, the AOL welcome was so comforting. When I heard that, I was like, cool.
You knew the other sound was going to be done.
And I
Okay.
also knew porn was on the way.
Oh, jeez.
So anyway, we solved that problem. Now, another problem that got solved that was a mystery for, I think the story started out, we talked about this a while ago, maybe last year. It's been proven now that zoo-goers are now outraged to discover that the panda exhibit was actually dogs dyed black and white. You okay over there?
Oh, my God.
Now, this happened in China, and the videos of these pandas went viral, and then they were like, no, we don't deny it. These are pandas.
These are pandas, obviously.
But when you look at these
barking.
these poor little dogs that have been painted black and white, I mean, they are cute, I got to say. I think they're Pomeranians.
Well, yeah, dogs can be. Oh, that makes sense because they're all poofy.
Yeah.
So they're trying to cover it as a panda.
Oh, they're chow chow dogs.
Oh,
they're chow chows.
Chow chow.
Because they're also really cute. Chow chows.
Yeah, chows are cute.
Yeah, super puffy. And they now that they're
Don't look like pandas or walk like them or sit like them.
I don't know. When I see it now, they're pretty close. I'm not telling people to paint your dog. Do not do that.
Right.
This would not be a Halloween costume. These poor dogs.
Gosh.
I mean, it's obviously not a panda. But they had this at a Chinese zoo, and people were saying, like, here's the panda exhibit. And it's dogs painted like pandas.
So and they denied it.
They denied it for a long time, but now it's out.
It's ballsy to paint a dog
Yeah.
and say it's a panda at the zoo.
Yeah.
It's even ballsier to deny it and call
Yeah.
everyone else crazy.
Yeah, they had to now pull these so-called panda dogs on display. They had them on starting last week, actually. They brought them back out again from last year. And, many visitors at the sanctuary very upset. Animal cruelty part of it, by the way, making dogs run around that are colored, and they say they're pandas, colored with different, black and white dye. I guess it's probably safe. They don't know, right?
I know that there is like paints and dyes that are safe because some people do like that stuff.
Yeah.
I'd imagine the zoo wasn't like up and up on all the safety precautions the way they're doing
Yeah,
stuff.
that's too bad. So I don't know if it's one of those things that, the world lied to you, like these people. It lied to these people out there that thought they were seeing pandas. And you paid money to go in. You spent all that time to get to the panda exhibit in the zoo, and then they're dogs.
I just can't imagine. It's like, well, how did people find out? It's like because they barked at a squirrel or something. Like, don't you think like there would have? How did they hide this?
Yeah. I just people just figured it out saying those are chow chows. Those are not pandas.
They're so much so a chow chow. It is unbelievable. Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's so good. And so somebody said, well, they are cute. And that's an extreme way to get your dogs cared for while you're at work. Maybe just paint them like that. These people that had their own dogs, and they brought them in to be pandas. I don't know why they don't also get pandas.
Why not just get some?
Are pandas super expensive?
Well, it's a zoo. You think they would have an animal budget?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to just put this in right now since we do have the internet now.
How much does a panda cost?
Yeah, how much does
If you have the number, Case and I should guess. Don't
Yeah,
let
I was
just give me a
going
guess.
to say we should all take a guess.
Yeah.
Kenzie, how much do you think a panda costs?
I'm gonna say $2,000 a pop
$2,000 for a panda?
per panda.
Okay. Case, what do you think?
It's got to be more. I think it's 10 grand a panda.
Really?
10 grand, and you said what, 2?
Yeah. How much is it for a panda?
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
How much does an adult panda cost?
Well, we didn't say adult.
We can assume by this price that the kids are expensive too.
Okay.
$500,000 to $1 million for a panda.
Oh, I get the chow chow thing now.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So go to Lincoln Park Zoo or the Brookfield Zoo that now calls themselves the Chicago Adjacent Zoo. They both have pandas, I think.
They have pandas.
Does Lincoln Park Zoo have pandas?
That's a pricey little exhibit. Now
it
we
is.
know. Now
And
we
Lincoln
know.
Park Zoo is free.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
So we're about 9 minutes away from Live Nation Concert Week. I'm sorry, we have so much stuff to throw at you. That's coming up in 20 minutes with Clash with Kenzie. We have a chance to pick your concert of so many shows going on around Chicago. At 7, it's Q101 Fest, getting you to the Minnesota Yacht Club Festival that has The Offspring, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Gwen Stefani, Lance Morissette. That's coming up in 8 minutes at 7 a.m. right here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. couple programming notes. Case is getting that video up. I think it's up now for the video that will make you fall asleep in 120 seconds, the 1989 Microsoft Word tutorial. And it's going to help a lot of people today, I believe. It's also hilarious. Also, we checked in on pandas. So I Googled Lincoln Park Zoo have pandas, and I've been to the Lincoln Park Zoo. I can't remember seeing a panda, but it's been a minute. It says they have a panda, but they have red pandas. The red pandas. They have a 5-year-old female named Nisha who arrived in 2022, and so they have a red panda.
Does Brookfield?
So I Googled.
I thought they did.
So Brookfield Zoo apparently had giant pandas, including, there was 3 of them from China, but this story comes from 2016.
Oh, the pandas could have left.
I mean, high taxes in Chicago. They want to get out of there.
Yeah,
Their cage is too expensive.
Totally. They want to move to a warmer climate. They're getting old.
Well, the first live panda seen in the United States arrived at Brookfield Zoo in 1937.
Oh, my gosh.
The first panda was
Is
here.
he still there?
Well, I don't know how long they live. Do I have to check that now?
I'll look it up. Dude,
But I mean,
pandas.
no, because somebody texted in and said we don't have pandas here.
20 years, he's gone.
Oh, that's too bad.
About 30 years for those in human care. So
Wow, so under captivity, they actually live
they
longer?
live longer. Well, that makes sense because they're not dealing with predators.
True, but people always kind of say they're not living the best life in zoos. Animals, they feel bad for them, and I do sometimes too.
That's a short life.
20 years.
Yeah.
Think about that.
20
Man,
to 30.
pandas got to live moss. They got to seize the day.
If I was a panda, this would be my last year. I'm 29.
Oh, man.
In panda years, I'm very old.
That really puts that in perspective, doesn't it?
Oh, I'm honestly exhausted. Panda's got it figured out. I would love to retire right now. I'm just going to chill for these last few days.
So what we're going to go with here before 7 o'clock is Kenzie wants to be a panda.
Yeah.
Okay, just verifying where we're at.
I'm a big panda.
So you can sleep.
Big panda energy.
Yeah. Like I said, we're about now 6 minutes away from 7 a.m. for the Q101 Fest. Here's Gil Curtis with your headlines.
This is not headline news. Miss USA is relinquishing her title to focus on her mental health. Obviously, bringing an end to world hunger can really take its toll. Sure, she'll keep the money and other prizes that came along with it. Those were good for her mental health. Today is National Teachers Day, and maybe one of them could tell us where to put the apostrophe on that sentence. An all-nude cruise will depart Miami next year. If you think that sounds hot, you haven't seen the average person on a cruise. All-nude cruises. We know what you're thinking, but you better start drinking. Tom Selleck may lose his ranch due to the canceling of Blue Bloods. Darn those reverse mortgages. This is not headline news.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.